wanna get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club.
Hello, welcome everyone to the final day of the VCT Game Changers APAC series. Now, we are joined by Key and myself. Hey, I'm Quack. Finally, the QQ duo is reunited, and here we are. We're headed in towards the lower bracket finals. I mean, yesterday was pretty darn crazy, wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, yesterday was crazy. We saw NGX finally make it back to the playoffs, but didn't stand a great chance against the Alter Ego Celeste, the reigning goddesses still, by the way. That's 9 opens they won in a row. Today, it's another finals day yet again. We're going lower bracket finals first between Team SMG and NGX. Team SMG, of course, clawing their way back after losing the first round against Bren. Got their revenge. And then now they're up against NGX in the lower bracket finals, where, well, the winner gets to take on the goddess called Alter Ego Celeste.
Of course. I mean, that is a given, right? We still want to see someone possibly dethrone Alter Ego Celeste, but that has not happened at all. I mean, we might have come a little bit close with X10. You know, they maybe actually were able to knock Alter Ego Celeste in the lower brackets, but where are they? They're not here for some reason. It's strange, it's weird, but I love it at the same time because we got to see teams like Sovereign and Thirst Dread come into the fray. But that said, I mean, the top three seedings are already secured. I mean, in towards FSL Elite, like you're seeing in the calendar right in front of you right now, this is the fourth open. This is the final chance for teams to really secure that top three, make their way into VCT Game Changers APAC Elite, which is the biggest tournament that we will have towards tail end of, early start of October. After that, the teams are going to have to try to fight their way through open overtime and the last chance qualifiers. And that's just, also not going to be easy.
No, not at all. It's definitely going to be difficult because there's so much competition right now, especially beyond the top, I would say beyond the top four. It's like a bloodbath right after that. At top four, of course, we'll see the standings later on, but of course, top one, we all know Alter Ego Celeste. Bren and SMG hot on their heels, and then fourth is X10. But the rest of the teams, I would say that I wouldn't really be sure who will make it past overtime. And of course, for APAC Game Changers, this is a prize pool breakdown. These girls have been competing for these prizes, and it's been great seeing the scene develop since last year, since we started casting together, and it's really such a sight to behold. And seeing teams go up and get better, I think it's such a nice thing to see.
It truly is. I mean, last year, it was kind of the same old. The usual suspects would have the same top four every single time. This year, actually, possibly the same as well, but we start to see a lot more growth from all the other teams. I mean, last year we would have Aresta, Aricat Aresta, we would have Asteria. This year we're seeing so much more coming in from teams like Orangutan, for example. Sovereign, Thirst Red coming in. There was a team called Blaze Thea like a couple of months ago. It's super interesting to see how all these things come out. I think we might even see Big Scythe come back in at some point. But yeah, so many more teams are starting to participate right now. But of course, today we are only focusing on 3 teams. They basically, apart from NGX, who have kind of been missing from playoffs for basically the entire year until this open, all the other teams have already kind of secured their top 3 spot. Which means that today, what they're really going for is that prize money. 1,005, 1,002, what was it, 900? I don't know. But we saw it earlier on. And it's basically the top 3 teams, if we're going to take a look at the standings pretty soon, is that they've already secured their place. Top 1, of course, right now, I think, is still probably going to be Alter Ego Celeste. Unless SMG can somehow beat them in grand finals, or NGX can beat them in grand finals. Well, actually, if NGX beats them in grand finals, Alter Ego Celeste will still be on top.
They're still number one either way. No one can get close.
Well, I mean, if SMG beats them, I think SMG actually goes number 1 because like what's the
No,
score
no,
right
no.
now?
SMG goes number 2. So if
Really?
SMG win grand finals, they just edge out Bren Victress, I believe. But it's
I
just
thought they could because like it's 20 points. I want to take a look at
but you get
standings later.
15. You get 15 if you're second. So it's just not enough to reach Altiga Celeste with the amount of points that they built up.
SMG's first, they would, right?
No, no, not even.
No,
Not even.
my
It's
math
not
is
even
failing
close.
me.
I believe. Because
That's how good
the
Altiga
points
Celeste
the
are.
points right now. Okay, let's take a look at the points right now. So the
Yeah,
points
yeah.
right now, but Altiga Celeste would get 15 at least. So
Oh,
they're at
you're
least
right.
second
I
point.
completely forgot
So
about
they're
that.
at least 75 points. So here's the standings right now. This is without the points from this open yet. So SMG, you see them at 4th place right now, but because they've already eliminated Bren, and Bren and SMG both made it to the playoffs, they're actually both ahead of X10 Crit at this point in time. So Alter Ego Celeste, of course, sitting pretty at number 1, and the rest of the teams, of course, just will have to fight for a spot at overtime and in the wild cards. So it's been a bloodbath of a year, I would say. Especially for second place, we always see X10 Crit and Bren fight for it, and now we might see SMG fight for that second place instead. So it's really such a bloodbath across second to 4th, and after that as well, from 5th to 8th, I don't know who's gonna take the last 4 slots or last 5 slots rather, for Elite.
Yeah, I mean, we still gotta wait for overtime and wildcard to see how that plays out. And there are just so many variables that I have no idea how to predict those yet, for now at least. But I can't believe I just failed my math on stream right now. I mean, oh god, I'm
Reported.
so thankful that I have a mathlete with me.
Reported.
Calculating all the leaderboard scores. But okay, these are the brackets that we have right now. The first game that we will have to determine who goes into the grand finals will be between NGX and SMG. If NGX wins, great. They prove themselves. They probably still won't get the top 3 slot, but you know, it's a great run. Maybe they can qualify through overtime. Maybe they can qualify through last chance if they need to.
I agree.
But
for NGX,
if SMG goes through, like that will be a pretty big statement as well, right?
yeah, that's definitely because they haven't reached the grand finals this year just yet, because it's always been Bren or X10 that's reaching the grand finals, and this is their chance to make that grand finals appearance. For NGX, this is their chance to prove themselves. It's they just need a little bit more experience, I would say. So it's for them, it's really just about getting a playoff experience with this new roster. You know, Trix is not in the main roster anymore. So NGX, they really need to find their footing, and maybe the experience is great, especially when coming to overtime. They need to be ready for anything, and facing off against the best teams will grant you that experience, especially when coming into overtime. So between the two teams, we'll have to see. SMG, of course, have proven themselves time and time again. NGX, surprised we see them again here. I would say they had a relatively easier bracket in the upper bracket, because the top part of the bracket was the group of death. It was Alter
That's
Ego
true.
Celeste, Bren, SMG in that bracket. The top 3 teams were on one side. NGX made it to the upper bracket finals, though not to discount their efforts, but they did not do so well against Alter Ego Celeste yesterday. So NGX is the squad: Aya, Aluka, Gwen, Hannah, Ivory. There's also Chloe as the 6th member of the team. They've been showing signs of brilliance, but against Alter Ego Celeste yesterday, not that great. But we'll see today if they can turn things around and take that experience from yesterday against Team SMG.
Hopefully, right? Like, your fingers are crossed. Interesting to note, it would be that Gwen, who used to play for Big Side, the Indonesian team, Indonesian player, has now been picked up by NGX. This is the first time that we're actually seeing them. Well, not first anymore, but like first in this tournament, this open, that we're seeing them perform together. And then on the other hand, we've got SMG, a little bit more familiar with these girls, Envious, Fixki, Kfredite, Kohaibi, and of course Yoki. I honestly was not expecting them to beat Brent Victress yesterday, because Brent has looked so good in the past.
Yeah.
But they showed up. I mean, could you tell me why, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, SMG have not beaten Bren in their previous matchups, in previous opens as well. Even in the upper bracket, they lost to Bren, though that one was probably the closest series I've seen this year. Like, every single map was a deficit of 2. It's all win by 2 maps, and it was crazy. But yesterday, a different team SMG showed up. It seemed like they learned from their losses, played a little bit tighter, just figured Bren out a little bit more, and it was a 2-0. Like, it's really surprising for a series that was so close in the upper bracket. Yesterday, a different team SMG showed up. They were more disciplined in their strats. They kind of figured Bren out. They just waited for Bren to, you know how Bren works. Their utility
Yeah.
usage, we always talk about it. They're probably one of the best teams that use utility, especially as a group. SMG were just ready for that. I think they did their homework, and they definitely figured out, like, just let them use their utility. We'll fight them later on. And of course, this is what I'm excited for. The map picks.
Ooh.
Okay, we are not seeing the live picks and bans, but of course NGX are gonna ban Fracture. We've seen SMG dominate on that map. SMG of course hate bind, they're allergic to sand. It's coarse, it's rough, it gets everywhere, they don't like it.
Nice reference.
Bind is banned, of course. And Haven, Ascent, and Icebox are going to be our maps. Of course, Split, not gonna want to fight it against SMG. SMG don't like Breeze because NGX are no slouches on Breeze. In fact, I would say that their map pools kind of coincide. So Haven, Ascent, and Icebox, pretty interesting. And I find it interesting that NGX was going to pick Haven instead of maybe Icebox first. Because SMG are also pretty good at that.
They are. They really are. I mean, I'm a little bit more scared for NGX just because they did not play too well on Haven yesterday. I mean, that was their map pick against Alter Ego Celeste as well. You would have expected them to, maybe it's tough to win against Alter Ego Celeste. Let's be honest. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But at least take, several rounds away. I mean, we've seen teams actually take maybe a map or two. We've seen teams actually, I don't know, at least like 9 rounds. That's what Arresta did towards Alter Ego Celeste on Icebox, which was Arresta's map pick. NGX picked Haven against Alter Ego Celeste, and they lost 13-0.
Yeah, that was brutal.
That was brutal to watch.
It's hard to say, but again, you're comparing against Alter Ego Celeste. One thing I realized whenever you're taking a look at statistics, Alter Ego Celestes are anomalies, like 100% anomalies of statistics. Because like if you take a look at their map picks, their win rates are all like 70, 80+%,
Above,
even 90+% every single map. Like, so which is Alter Ego Celeste's bad map? There's none. They're just too good. So for NGX to have been 13-0 there, I don't think it's indicative of their strats on Haven. It's just that Alter Ego Celeste are just a different beast right now. So we'll see if they can just hold up against Team SMG on Haven, because they're also pretty good at Haven. But NGX, we've seen them on Haven in the previous iterations as well. It's one of their favorite maps. I think that Bind is probably the only other map that they would prefer over Haven, but of course SMG has banned that. We're not going to see that, so we'll have to see if they can match up to these maps. And the thing about these 3 upcoming maps, they're kind of a bit more of the medium-sized maps. We're not seeing the big ones. Fracture and Breeze are out. We're not seeing the small ones. Bind and Split are out as well. So we're kind of like in the middle here with Haven, Icebox, and Ascent. So I'm really excited to see what's in store for us for NGX. But SMG, it also depends which SMG is going to show up today. They've been wildly inconsistent the past few opens, but of course they've proven that they're a top 3 team for sure. In Open 1, they got eliminated pretty early on, but after that they clawed back, and now they're clawing back hard, because after going down to the lower bracket, they made it back here to the lower bracket finals. So I'm excited to see what SMG has in store, especially for today. They're going to want their chance to go up against the Queens again for AE Celeste, while NGX, they want to prove themselves that they deserve to be in the top 3.
No doubt. I mean, just to put things in perspective really quickly, for just a second, the last time NGX played SMG was last year. Was when SMG was still called Renata's White. That is quite a while ago. It feels like a pretty nice like nostalgic experience right now.
No, it's been a while.
But that's it. This is a fairly new NGX because Trix isn't in the roster. I'm not sure if she's coaching for them, but they are playing an Asian composition, as we're seeing right now. That's rather, again, classic. We have the Reyna, and then we have just old school Valorant agents, perhaps with the exception of Killjoy. SMG, on the other hand, they have been starting to try to innovate. I mean, we've got Yoki on a Breach, and this is a comp that has worked for them for a couple of opens now already.
Yeah, and funnily enough, back when SMG, in their old iteration, their old lineups, they would run this exact lineup that NGXF are running. The Jet plus Reyna. That's exactly what
on
they
the
run.
Reyna.
Or Reyna or Raze. Like it's very similar. Kohibi would be likely on the Raze actually.
Choose your agent.
But they've changed that. Like you mentioned, SMG are a bit more flexible now. We're seeing Envious on the Omen sometimes, flexing Fixkey for another controller or maybe another Sentinel, like on Split. Sometimes she's a Sage. Kohibi plays the Initiator, so she plays the Sky. We see her play the Chamber on Icebox. We see her play the Reyna and the Raze sometimes, depending on what they need. SMG have really changed up their lineup so that they're a bit more flexible, a bit more adaptable, and a bit more unpredictable. On the other side, though, NGXF, it's like you mentioned, it's the lineups that we're seeing from last year. So let's see if that pans out here, because this is Haven. Especially on the attacking side, you have to be really ready. Ready on the defensive side, you have to be really ready because attack is so strong on Haven with the 3 sites. They're gonna have to be ready because SMG are so good on the attacking side. When they hold W, their executes are so fast, and NGX, they have to be ready for this onslaught.
Yeah, you could bet the SMG are gonna have quite a few tricks up their sleeves when it comes to retaking as well. I mean, that's what the double initiator composition alludes to. If you have that coordination, if you know how to simultaneously execute at the same time, you can overwhelm so many spots on the site that you might not really know how to react. And that is why it's imperative that NGX plays a rather careful style. They need that numbers advantage. They need to disable several players of SMG. Otherwise, when it comes to post-plant positions, post-plant situations, they're going to be in a world of hurt. I mean, unless you are somehow defending the site from off-site locations instead. So, again, still going to be tough. That said, I can't wait to see what happens. Here we go. SMG starting off on the defense and NGX attacking. Double duelist.
Yeah,
Man, what a trip.
It is a trip. But as you mentioned, I really love that SMG are running double initiator, especially on Haven, because sometimes you'd like to sacrifice a site. And sometimes like to sacrifice A, sometimes sacrifice C, and having that double initiator helps you come back into that site. The retakes, you mentioned it. It works better with a double initiator than a double duelist, in fact. And I think that's the meta evolving pretty much. One thing we haven't been seeing a lot from SMG is the KO. That's been pretty rare, relatively. Sometimes Yoki runs it, but I think that a KO, we've seen some teams run it on Haven. It's pretty good. And I actually want to see more teams with more flexibility here. Yesterday, we saw A Celeste run the Fade on Haven, but funnily enough, Nabsky, we didn't really see the effect of it because everyone was just dying, to be honest. Like the funny thing about that game, Nabsky had the lowest ACS in that game, and it's not because she wasn't hitting her shots. It's because everyone was already dead. Like it's funny because she had 80 something ACS. It was just really funny in a 13-0, but you realize she has no ACS because Oreophilia, Ayumi, and Ineri just kill everyone. And I think that the ACS of those 3 alone kind of was higher than the totality of NGX, which is something, right? So I don't know if Fade works for Haven yet. I can't say yet, but I love seeing A Celeste kind of experiment a little bit here and there. But I wouldn't say it was a success or a failure either way. It's just that they just outclassed NGX yesterday. But let's see if SMG and NGX can stand up against SMG, then potentially we have another team vying for that second place, right? Vying to take their shot against the Goddess. We'll see in this game. NGX are trying to execute right now.
Going in for quick garage control. I mean, they could use that to set up C split, but what they don't know is that SMG are already moving so quickly.
It's a fake.
It is though, exactly. Not a single peep.
It's just a huge fake. Jet is in the garage. Good position from her. Not able to find a kill though. She got caught out. She preps her dash up, but the rest of NGX already ran to A. Yeah, she's gonna have to use that.
With 4 HP, it's too risky. One shot, you're dead. So instantly, she backs out, but her team's already on the site. SMG, though, sustaining minimal damage, they are still relatively safe, and this is where I want to watch. They are setting up for that retake. Yeah. It's a full 5v5, but they are so prepared for it. Just taking a look down the angles. Envious finds the first frag. Aftershock to clear out Hell. Or here comes the Paranoia.
Yeah, the counter utility is just too much. SMG can't go in just yet, but there's the execute. SMG are going for this retake right now. They're rushing in, but NGX are ready for that. Trades left and right, 2v2 right now.
One enemy remaining.
And they're just still going back into it, clearing out hell now. And Fixky getting the first one made it so much easier. They played it slow and steady, and it worked out. Thanks to the teamwork, SMG were able to fight back. And of course, Aya being down to 4 HP was a really rough thing to deal with as well. So SMG takes the pistol.
Yeah, and it's like you said, right? They had the first initiate, they got counter initiated by the paranoia, but it didn't matter because they had 2 initiators. The sky is still there. That guiding light really guided them into the site, and with enough discipline, they're like a SWAT team coming in. The trades, they're fine with that, but they're calling out pretty well, and that's the biggest thing about the A retakes. It's so hard to take, it's hard to retake. The communication has to be very important. The fact that they found everyone on that A site on NGX's side just shows that they're very tactical in how they cleared the corners, and how they cleared every single member of NGX there.
Without a doubt. That said, though, NGX seemed to kind of predict that SMG will have the tendency to push out, as we've seen them do before. So them playing a default right now, that's something that I can respect. Of course, I do want to believe in NGX, but that said, I think what we just saw in that retake was just a taste of what's to come, because SMG's retaking potential, their attacking potential, is incredibly strong right now. Envious, lurking in this position, gets so much information. The trigger discipline is good, and she fires, lets it, gets the first one. Kohibi comes in to support.
Yeah, they actually turned around and spotted her. She could have gotten more kills, but NGX had an inkling, had a feeling that something was wrong. That's a classic. The right click from Hannah, straight onto Kohibi's face, evens things out, so it's looking pretty dicey for SMG now, but they do have the armor. Yeah, she got a Spectre spell, but 22 HP. No armor on the rest of her team. I'm not too sure.
It's gonna have to be a very measured approach, because if you just hold W into Spectres without armor, yeah, you're probably gonna die. Still though, 10 seconds left.
10 seconds
and
left.
SMG are just giving them all the space. This is a free site for them. Wait,
no, they got confused. Yoki was pushing out short. And there was just a little bit of confusion because they thought it was clear, but they actually made their way all the way through A long.
This is scary.
Yeah, I don't know what they can do right now. Oh, Aluka gets the first kill too.
Uh-oh. Okay, well, Fixky's gonna have to land her shots in order to make this so much easier. Hannah's down to 22 HP, so she's a bit of a non-factor unless she plays some crazy off angle, which is what she's trying to do right now. Fixky doesn't quite check it, and this turns into a 1v2. Of course, it's clutch for Daidi that we're talking about, but the spike is against her. She goes back in for a peek, and Aluka lands the headshot with the Spectre that she stole. NGX just turned this around on its head.
Yeah, I'm not sure what SMG was thinking or what went on with the comps. There's definitely some miscomps. You can see the pings that they went through A long. You can see the green pings. Those are coming from Team SMG. So they're like, oh, they actually went through A long. We didn't realize it. So losing that site was detrimental to the loss, because losing it, she had her Spectre, she had full armor, she could have taken at least 2 members down, but Yoki just went all the way through A short, pushed out, went to B thinking there was no one there at all. So the miscom or the misinformation from Team SMG really cost them that round.
It's definitely a little bit of a misread, but also gotta say that's just really smart plays coming in from Hannah to push in towards top of heaven, because that's something that SMG wouldn't really expect. They didn't have the timing of getting onto site on time.
Yeah, Aluka pushing to B as well with a sheriff headshot. We'll see what Team SMG can do this time.
Right now, I mean, doesn't seem like much. Only pistols, some upgraded, the rest not really. NGX are looking to hold on to their momentum right now. They've got all the rifles, with Hannah just sticking to a Spectre because why not? They've managed to give off a little bit of fake info towards B, towards Garage, and here comes the execute on towards C side. Fixky holding the off angle with the shorty, does connect onto the first, but of course this is a one and done position. She's gonna have to give up the site. K490 here to back it up though, and now we're down to a 4v3. Still, it's pistols against rifles. Surely SMG doesn't win this round.
No, they're clawing back a little bit. Those frenzies can be deadly. Sometimes they feel like they're long-range guns. They just hit somehow. So we'll see if SMG can do this. They're actually going to try. They're prepping the guiding light. They're prepping a counter execute. Time is kind of ticking down for NGX, so they're going to be forced to take action. Aya takes Yoki down. Hannah takes one down as well. The guns are just too strong right now. The range is good. Aya takes Kohaibi down as well. It's all down to Nifidari with 2 HP and no dream as Hannah takes her down.
Maybe a nightmare. Oh, I mean, this was NGX just toying with them in a way. I mean, they knew that they didn't really... I mean, they had the sight. That was a very slow, very careful approach, because the moment they had control over it, they just wanted to turn this into a firing range. I think it was Hannah was consistently just tapping the spike, not really planting it, because she wanted to apply that pressure. She wanted SMG to peak, and then of course Aya would be there to follow up on several kills. That's how NGX wants to operate this time. So I think SMG either switch up the pace or they got to be a little bit more careful. This time around, of course, so much invested into the round, they want to be careful about it, but Envious just watches the angles and gets the first frag.
A-Long and Envious, she loves that side. Kohaibi is there to help as well. There's a dash prepped out. Oh, the Nanostorm actually missed it. Okay, there you go. The Nanostorm comes out, forces him out. Oh, they get the 2 kills as well.
That is such a response. It flushed her out of the corner. I thought Envious might have maybe gotten an extra kill and tailwinded away, but still, this is NGX now, and they are just waiting for SMG to peek into them. Ivory gets yet another one, and off of that frag, and Hannah in such a deep position behind enemy lines, NGX has free reign over the map right now.
Yeah,
SMG are the ones who...
up, though.
Yeah, but they don't have presence. So it's up to the retake in a 2v3. Aftershock to deny the plan, and they are still just waiting. Fixie pushes up front, Ivory takes her down. And as Yoki pushes out against 3 players, there are so many angles to cover. Unfortunately, she drops to Aya. This is now 3-1, Marquis.
Yeah, after getting those 2 kills at the beginning, I thought SMG had this round in the bag, but NGX turned it around using this Nano Swarm. They actually had a crossfire on NGX's side. They were just daring SMG to peek out. They knew SMG would play aggressive there, because there were 2 choices there. Envious either dashes out or fights, and she chose to fight, and NGX called that bluff.
Yeah. I mean, okay, here's the thing. I respect, in any fight or flight scenario, I respect you making the decision to fight, but in a tactical game, sometimes it makes a bit more sense to actually just back off. SMG right now are taking aim duels that aren't entirely necessary, although I can respect the confidence. They have to be a little bit more careful because NGX are just waiting for them right now. Pixie holding off angle, though, goes in for the spray. And Alpha instantly reacts. It's a good trade, and she gets the overheal as well. But here comes Caper Daddy with the Sheriff. Walks up front, and then the trades from Yoki. They have numbers advantage now, but they still need to land their shots, and they will! Yoki with the double kill has pretty much decimated it all. And NGX is down to 1 player remaining. She doesn't have the spike, so she knows she has to go in for the duel. She will get the first one. Pops the Empress now. Backs off to reload and recover for a second. How does SMG deal with this? They're holding off angles. We've got Envious with the blades, just waiting for Alika to push up front, take a peek outside of the doors, possibly, potentially waiting for her to come out of B. Unfortunately, goes back in for the turn, and then Envious strikes with the right click to her face. SMG turns it back 2-3.
Yeah, both teams stealing rounds from each other from ecos. This is just insane. Like, SMG had no business winning that round, but Yoki's Sheriff, those were her 2 first kills of the map, by the way. The 2 Sheriff kills really made the biggest difference here. And Envious sealing the deal with the Blade Storm, just finishing off Alika. Really getting that headshot. She was so ready for that kill. She was so ready for the dismiss to be cancelled. And SMG sealed that round away, but NGX, still pretty good economy for them.
Really, no kidding. They managed to win in that second round, and this is the outcome of it. Still, though, look at how careful they're being with their approach across the entire map. Not the most control. I mean, they're kind of giving up C, but they're just waiting, putting themselves into these positions where they are expecting SMG to peek into them, holding these angles, and now SMG have backed up completely, not giving them any information. Allows for them to sneak onto the site, to possibly get a plant down. But again, I'm just waiting for that SMG retake. It's B side after all. But still, this is Aya now pushing up front along with Ivory. The lockdown, even though being deployed, it's not going to come into full effect unless K490 can land some shots. Still, one more second before it detains. And unfortunately, NGX have already made their way onto A side.
It was so messy. I think it was Aya. She was just waiting for the reload sound. Once the reload came out, she swung. She killed Yoki, who wasn't reloading, but Kohibi was still reloading. And NGX, very different NGX from what we saw yesterday. They're definitely showing that they're deserving of this spot.
This is interesting. I mean, it's definitely deserving, yeah, for sure. SMG are going to have to somewhat half buy or eco again. And NGS are still just building up that economy with the momentum that it got right now. Compared to Alter Ego Celeste, I mean, that's a team that's incredibly sharp at fragging. No matter what angles you're holding, they're still going to be able to swing on you. They're still going to be able to just overwhelm you with them pushing every single round, even if they're on defense. SMG aren't really doing that right now. They're playing a very passive style. And with the way that NGX are going into control areas of the map, just holding angles, expecting SMG to peak, it's somehow working against SMG. That's a problem.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, miscommunications or maybe a bit overzealous in their rotations. But this is exactly
what we need.
Envious takes 2 down. The hero Vandal is working out. She might have even charged the second dash as well. Yep, it's back up as well. Might be able to find another kill here yet again. Great patience from her this time around. Waited out before peeking out again. Now the A execute. It seems like they're gonna try to go again, but Hannah gets taken down. Envious is making this round work. She's gotten 3 out of the 3 kills, and right now it seems like they're gonna recover, get another gun. Aloka takes Yoki down, but Envious and Fixky are hot on their heels. They have the control over the spike.
I love this control from SMG. Look at them. They know they have NGX trapped on the A site. What's interesting, though, is Kohibi actually making all the way around mid, down in towards the back to support Envious again. It works out, and I don't think NGX will expect Kohibi to be here. Unfortunately, though, Envious loses to Alka, and that puts us in a 1v2 situation. Kohibi, 1 against the world. She could pick up a rifle, but she's still gonna have to duel her way out of this one. And without the momentum, without the advantage, with the spike being down, she is going to have to peek and clear multiple angles. Watching for Heaven, though, this could set up for Aya to just play off of Alika's contact, which is a dangerous thing. Goes in for the peek now, and oh, it's all too clear. NGX with the reads. They are able to win simultaneously and go off with the 5-2 scoreline.
It's exactly as you said. It's a double peak. They're playing this position so well. Envious, great start to her with the hero Vandal, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough because her team was just overwhelmed. And this last segment, I think she was in a do or die position. The double Leer was just too much for her, and Kohibi was not there in time to shoot out the Leer. And Envious still has enough money to buy this round at least because she used the Blade Storm that other round, so it kind of like rolled over here. She even has enough for Blade Storm yet again. So SMG not stopping the attacking side from NGX that well just yet. Let's see if they can make the adjustments they need.
Trying to think, like, how could they actually adjust? I love that NVS is going for bits of active map control with the way that she's positioned under mid window right now. But that said, they haven't really been winning their duels because NGX just peaks them at the right times, especially with that one play towards A long previously.
Not just at the right times.
Yeah.
They also play together. I think that's the biggest thing. So NBS is flank. Oh, okay, they're not checking that corner. Fixky is able to find a kill. Retreats back to safety. NBS gets 1 as well. Aya takes Kohibi down though, but Fixky is still on the site. Takes Gwen down with that Phantom. And right now, NGX look like they're on the back foot, but Aya takes one down. It's now down to 2v3. Now down to a 1v1 as they go for trades, but NBS ever so sharp, keeping SMG in the game.
My goodness, they just lined up for Ivory in that spot, but thankfully Envious was already on their way, and she managed to find that 1v1 duel. Maybe they weren't really expecting her to come out of garage. Whatever it is, though, I gotta say, SMG played their cards relatively close to their chest because they just kept NGX on the site itself with the way that Fixkey started things off, just kind of peeking out a little bit. The rest of them came back into trade, kept them down, and then of course Envious striking at the right time. Now back into this 3-5. They still don't have the best economy, SMG that is, because they've been losing the past few rounds now and sustaining that much damage as well. They're going to have to go in with a bit of a half-ish buy. Got Spectres, got Bulldogs, a bit of a fake dash from Aya as she cloud bursts onto site. Oh, they're expecting her to be there, but the Trailblazer does call it out. Now they know that they're behind this dog cover, so they don't have to fully commit to A site just yet. 3 players here to stack, though, and NGX are looking for other options.
And look at, there's a flank again from Envious. This scene looks
that's so
all
good.
too familiar, but there's no lockdown right now, and I think Envious is not in a prime position to get this flank just yet.
So she can't push out. She has to be very careful about this.
Smart play though.
She's just lurking. Yeah, we got to credit her patience, but that's it. She needs to land these frags, and she will get the first one. Cloudburst picks up the rifle, but she's kind of stuck in the corner now, I'm afraid. Cloudburst to get away, and that is good. Now 3 players on site. How does NGX deal with this?
I think they're running into a trap. There's still 2 players in. Oh no, but it's not a trap if they can spring it first. Okay, Freddy gets taken down, all down to Yoki on the side. She flash by time. Kawaii takes one down. Hannah takes Yoki down though. SMG can recover from this. Kawaii gets the second. Hannah is there for the counter trade. Fixkey is gonna be there though. Shadow steps away. It's all down to Hannah right now. 1v2,
Oh my God.
but they're both
10
low.
seconds.
Envious only
10
has 7
seconds.
HP. And Hannah is gonna get the kill.
With a quadra of all things, she does it all. All of those trades went into Hannah's favor. The entire squad of SMG made it look possible. They came back in. It's the same game plan as what they did on C site, just trading left and right. But unfortunately, it came down to the 1v1 with Envious being that low. And Hannah just swings and sprays it down with, you know, a little bit of a preemptive shot. She knew she was going to be there. And now we're sitting at a 6-3 marquee. That is not looking good at all for SMG.
Yeah, it's not great. Though I would say attacking on Haven is still favored. They can still come
True.
back. They can get a few more rounds. I'd say 4 is doable, 5 is ideal, and if they can
That sounds like
even
Hopi.
things out, and this is Hopium speaking. If they can even things out, that would be the best. But of course, NGX are definitely going on this map, and SMG,
Oh my
they
god!
don't have the guns to stop them.
They don't have the strats either. It seems like what a play. I mean, she just went in for that updraft on top of the boxes, the double stack, and SMG had no idea what hit them. They thought they could have pushed out into sewers, but unfortunately, here you go. It's a tough spot to be in. With upgraded pistols and a shorty of all things, I don't see how Fixkey could do all that much, except for potentially looking for exit frags, and I believe that's what SMG is trying to go for right now.
Yeah, they're gonna have to die to the spike though, because you're not gonna want to keep these pistols and get the penalty. They're gonna have to run in one way or the other, and I think they're gonna run towards
obvious.
long, so they're gonna fight. They're gonna be able to look for these frags.
Okay, so there goes Fixkey getting that round loss bonus, but dueling against Kuhaibi and Envious right now. Ooh, it's a good pick, and Envious gets the second one as well, but unfortunately not enough time to pick up a rifle. That's okay. They did a little bit of damage to NGX's economy. That's it though. They still got that bank.
Yo.
This is now 3-7.
Envious would have been better off dying. She would have had full armor at this point if she just
Oh,
died.
you're right.
So
Well, she gets alt points.
yeah, well, yeah, I'm not too sure.
I know what you mean.
Like, I think they could have had a more forward position, like not in window, but maybe in a lobby, maybe. Just to kind of
that's
like
right.
do the do or die and make sure that
Sandwich.
they're able to get a rifle. But anyway, let's see if SMG can hold on this time around, because we've seen signs of brilliance from them, but it looks like NGX are controlling the pace of the game right now.
Look at Envious though. Consistently pushing herself down the box window. They might not expect it, but they actually do. Helga just jumps up top, gets the frag. Kohibi tries to trade, but it's still not enough. The overheal was good. Now Aya down to 12 HP. Still not that much of a problem, because they are just throwing bodies onto the side. K for Dino,
Spike
despite
down,
being
B.
blinded, still able to get the frag. 7 rounds in the
Oh.
chamber, and she finds a double.
Oh
And
my
the third
God.
through the smoke. Aphrodite coming online. Hannah now, the last one left. Hopes and dreams on her shoulders. She finds yet another. Pushes into Aphrodite,
Aphrodite.
but doesn't expect her to be inside that dark cover. Gets the 4th frag, and now
Last round
SMG
in the
back
half.
on the board. 4-7.
Yeah, that was amazing to watch. Like, she got that first kill off of the
Spike
All
bind,
crosshair placement.
moved forward with 10 bullets, gets
Perfect.
the kill as
Enemy
smoke
remaining.
pops, just fires as she hears the spike get picked up. Aya gets taken down,
remaining.
and finishing off Hannah with this off position.
That is-
Amazing play.
Mamma mia. That's all crosshair placement.
It's all
Kaylin, you gotta love her.
yeah, but you know what? SMG can't afford to depend on these heroics from their players every single round. They need to find a way. But this is the last round of the first half, so let's see if they can hold on. They can make it a 5-7 potentially, or will they lose the last point to NGX?
Let's hope that doesn't happen. Fixkey's got From the Shadows, not the best ultimate to work with unless you know how to reposition yourself. Spectre, Bulldog, they don't really have the firepower. NGX, on the other hand, they do. And they've got 4 ultimates. This is either going to be a really strong post plant or a really strong execute. The first lockdown comes in, but the Hunter's Druid goes back just to take it out. Fault line goes through and it does connect, but unfortunately they don't really have that catalyst. They don't really have the positions on site. Heaven is good, but they're not quite able to find heads. Not yet, anyway. Envious manages to slip the net,
Oh.
but here comes Ivory from the back.
Who flanks the flanker?
Unfortunately, she might just lose herself. She has to go in quick with the rest of her team still all the way towards the back. The flank is gone, and here comes the trades. Yoki and Kohabi, they actually managed to win some duels, but unfortunately not quite able to clear out hell just yet. Fixkey able to get one, but now it's all down to Kohabi. She makes the drop, but it's all too clear, and Hannah already preemptively spots her out. And 8-4 will be that score at the end of the first half.
Yeah, that's pretty painful. I think SMG were not expecting to be down that much, but we see now why this is NGX map pick, and SMG just struggle to hold on to the side. Actually, it's more of the retakes that seem so difficult for them. You mentioned at the beginning that the double and share lineup was there for them to
Yeah.
go for those retakes, but it just seems like they just did not have enough, especially after the first pistol round. They look pretty shook. The retakes did not look very clean. It just seemed like they couldn't hold the site as well. They were a bit afraid of NGX executing. They just let them in first, but the retakes were just not there. And it feels like whenever they tried to hold on to a site, they just lost too many members.
I mean, I have to agree. This is an NGX that looks relatively controlled. Every single scenario that they're in, it's not crazy aggressive. They basically shift walk the entire way onto site.
Yeah.
Like, not a single sound. And then they just
Swing.
hold these angles. They're just waiting for SMG to peek every single time. Even down to that final round, with Ivory coming in from the back, it's almost as if they were expecting SMG to go in for such retakes. And that's how they were able to kind of just outmaneuver SMG in these scenarios. It's as if they were prepared for this.
Yeah.
So I think actually there might be something to learn from yesterday's games with NGX playing Haven against Alter Ego Celeste. Could there be a page from Alter Ego Celeste's playbook that SMG could, borrow for a second?
Potentially, especially on the attacking side. I think we're going to see a different SMG here. Their defense today, at least on this map, was not that great, but on the attacking side, we see a very different SMG. And for the lineup of NGX having 2 duelists, let's see how they play on the defensive side. Will they play with more aggression? Because we've seen how Envious plays, especially on the defense, a little bit more active control, like you mentioned, active information, pushing out with a Reyna and a Jet on NGX's side. Will they look to seek that information actively, or will they just wait for SMG and then go for a retake as well? We'll have to see in the second half, because yesterday, whenever we watch SMG, the comments are always, SMG's attack just looks so good. They're just so clean. They just hold W, and somehow everyone dies. It looks like that it's very different from what NGX did on the attacking side, where it was a bit more slow, controlled push forward, and then a burst of execution in.
Yeah, it's two different worlds, right? I mean, SMG on the attacking side, they are able to slam every single time. I'm pretty sure there's some copy pasta somewhere by some of the players and how they attack, but maybe the chat can back me up on that one. This one though, 4-8, they desperately need these attacking rounds because if not, and if they lose the pistol, it's not going to be a nice position to be in. So already geared up towards the A sites. What do you think we're going to see, Marquis?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's the pistol round that's the most important right now. They better win this. I think SMG have the tools for that. They're going to play fast for sure, but they're ready for that. NGX are ready. Kohibi got taken down. She thought she had cover, but she did not. But K4Daddy is going to be there. Takes Alico down for the trade. 4v4 right now. SMG are not stopping. They're dashing in. They're trying to go in, but NGX are ready for that. They're taking everyone down. Aya gets 2 headshots. Ivory takes K4Daddy down. It's all down to Fixky. And SMG, this is a disaster for them.
I am appalled. NGX looking so strong on the defense. I mean, that was like a 5-second QRF, a quick reaction force, as they instantly rotated as soon as they confirmed that this is where the hit was. Ivory was anchoring down like nobody's business. There was a bit of a pistol duel, and she was the one who won it thanks to her light shields and a classic. She dinked one of the SMG players in the head. That was now 4-9 and very likely 10-4 after NGX wins this.
I mean, we've seen pistol round reversals, but SMG,
Classics.
they're disciplined. Yeah, classics, because they know they can't afford to take that big risk right now, especially down 5 rounds. They're just gonna stick with the classics. Probably go for this B execute, try to get the spike down for some extra creds, and get away.
I might even be hoping for SMG to call a timeout at some point, because this isn't looking too good. That said, though, now just trying to get a feel for how NGX plays. NGX, knowing they have the firepower, they pushed out, and they are collecting on all of these bodies. Only losing Aya. It was almost a flawless, but still, this is a good round for NGX.
Yeah, it's SMG. I'm not sure what they can do right now. They need to figure things out. They really need to find a way to get back and make this work.
Their first full buy, and there it is, the timeout being called. If I'm not wrong, by SMG. Perhaps Alex is talking to them. Foul, that is. Or Foul X3. I don't know. What is his IGN now?
I'm not sure, but it's Foul, of course. They're gonna have to figure things out here. Like, it's just not working out for them. I thought it was just maybe the side, especially because Haven is very attack sided, but their pistol round did not look very clean either. So it's a bit of a, I said SMG played a bit tighter yesterday, especially against Bren. Today it feels a bit like that close tightness that I'm talking about is just not there. Like, they're trying to do these double peaks, but one is too late. They're just not on the same page. Maybe like even just half a second different, and that makes a big difference.
It is the first map though, so maybe they just need to warm up. I mean, I could see, I know what you're talking about, and I can see what they're trying to go for, but it does look a little bit disjointed at times. I mean, Heidi going in straight into A short in that first round, just instantly pulling out the Trailblazer without much cover. That was something that was a little bit curious. But here we go, and they go in for that fast execute onto B. NGX not able to react in time. They will be able to get the spike down, but how are they going to set up the post-plant positions? That's what I'm curious about. The dark cover expires, and now Hannah holding the angle is able to spray one down, but Kohibi is here instantly for the trades. And this is one that favors SMG as Kohibi continues to look for more frags. Aya's the only one behind, and it's an instant 180 flick, one tap from Kohibi.
What was that?
With her high sensitivity, she makes it work. A triple kill in the round for the girl, and SMG are now 5-10.
What was that? That flick was, was it Asarai who called it a hospital flick? Because
Maybe
that
because
one,
you have to go to the hospital after.
yeah, I mean, she plays with a high sense, so just we'll watch the flick soon enough. Like, she just like, yeah, someone's there, and then bam, straight to
That's
the
so
face.
good. I mean, you could even like break that down. There was that instant flake just for the initial 180, and then the micro adjustment onto the head. It's so fast, it's so sharp, and that's what star power is. Still though, Aya having gotten that many kills in the first few rounds, she has her Blade Storm now, and she's able to find one in the form of Envious. SMG though still not backing down. They're trying to go in for this. They baited out the Paranoia, so they could rotate. What they have to be concerned about though is Ivory's position. Could someone have pushed out B?
Yeah, good rotation, good discipline for them to stop a little bit first. Aya does not find a kill, so the crouch from Kohaimi saves her life. Ducks away from the blades. Aya down 25 HP. Not much she can do here, but the classic. Okay, she gets a headshot, but that's not enough. SMG 4v2 right now. Are they gonna take A, or are they just gonna go somewhere else?
I think they could. Or maybe they even should. Or just wait for a second, because they've got 50 seconds on the clock. They could take their time with this. They have so many players, so many options. NGX are the ones who need to suss them out. And that is exactly why Hannah is pushing out right now. If she makes the right plays at the right time, she could get all of this info.
30 seconds
Fortunately,
left.
she's being a little bit more careful about it. And there is that turret as well.
Alarm bot too.
Goes in for the
Oh, no,
smoke,
they're
though.
gone.
Ooh. Yeah, unfortunately, they are gone. But this could still be a flank.
Yeah, she pulled out the turret and the alarm bot because they were too far. So this could still
Not
be a good
bad,
flank
though.
from Hannah.
Yeah, because of the turret being recovered,
10
SMG
seconds
will have
left.
no idea. But of
Spike
course,
planted.
they leave someone on the flank guard, and that's going to be Fixkey. Spots her out, but Hannah finds that frag regardless.
I've got your
However, the
trail.
spike has gone down, so this is going to be a 2v3 retake scenario for NGX.
I don't like this position from SMG. They're sandwiched right now.
Oh my god. All of them inside Cubby?
Exactly.
I was not expecting this.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to take out the members of NGX.
Uh-oh.
As Hannah
Uh-oh.
ever hits the firing
Okay.
squad. Okay, Aphrodite though clutches it out,
best?
gets a triple kill again. 30 HP, one bullet away. Made all the difference.
Jeez, mate.
Bullet.
Here.
That was terrifying to watch, Marquis. I mean, I have to agree with you because all players hiding inside a cubby is just a disaster waiting to happen. But thankfully, that last player was our very dear Clutch for Didi as she comes up big with that final frag. So 6-10 now. And NGX's economy maybe not looking the best. Let's see how they do with Sheriffs.
Let's see if they can hold on. Not been doing well so far. They always attack K on SMG's side. Oh, there's the headshot from Aya.
Oh my goodness. Unfortunately, that's still only one though, as SMG continues to press W. What they might not expect, however, is Ivory that's lurking behind them. They're trying to hold and control A long right now, just waiting for NGX to peek out. There is a nice little bit of support from Gwen. She does get a bit of a recon, but unfortunately going back in for the duels, it's going to be SMG with the perfect, pristine crosshair placement that decimates them. Ivory now coming in from the back. Might have been spotted, and K490 comes back in just to clear it out. They get the plant as well, so extra credits, and now they're building up that bit of a bank.
This game didn't look close, but now it looks like SMG are just calling back. And 7-10 from a 4-8 start. It's closer than when it was 4-8. There's 3 rounds now. SMG are making it look like it's doable. It looks like they woke up. It looks like they found a little bit of those reads, really figuring NGX out here.
See, what I'm afraid of, though, is if NGX finds the momentum again, because SMG cannot afford to lose too many rounds. It's 3 more and NGX closes this. So SMG are going to have to be pretty flawless here. Envious finding the first one now could be the trick, and she is that catalyst as she continues to clear out the site. 2 players gone, and now SMG has C.
It's a free site for them right now. All 5 members there. Envious can get topped up by Kohaimi, but they're just she's just too busy holding the angles. I think right now it is not the right time to heal. It doesn't matter anyway. 5v3 right now. SMG already in the post plans.
Look at that. I mean, they're not really watching long, but that's okay because they were fast enough that probably NGX won't even come from that spot. And if
Alarm
they do,
bot.
they have utilities. So all of these post-plant positions right now is all to cover garage, all to cover CT, where they're expecting them to come from. The fault line as well, they're going in for some duels, but they think to play it safer instead and completely back off.
Yeah,
NGX hold on to their rifles.
smart from NGX to not have to go for that execute or retake, because it's just too difficult. They only had 2 angles of attack, and they know that they only have 2 angles of... They know that SMG know that as well. So 5v3, not perfect. It's not great. They couldn't find a first kill, so they couldn't choose to go. They decided to save instead. They know SMG are hot on their heels. 8 to 10 right now.
It's incredible to see that entire round play out just because of the flashes and the support coming in from Yoki, Kohaibi, but also just Envy is finding those heads-up duels and getting 2 of them. That entire round was won just because she managed to get that sight. This time around, though, they're going a long way towards A, and they're going to have to be a little bit careful because Ivory is here to anchor. She's got her lockdown as well, but here comes Envious from behind. Unfortunately, she's blinded, so she can't find the frag. Yoki is able to trade, but here comes Aya from the sides. She's locking it down, and she's able to find the first one. Lockdown deployed by K4Daddy as well, though, and that forces NGX to back up. It's now down to the 2v2 as the spike gets planted.
It's gonna go down right now. Let's see if they can get the post plants here. It's gonna be difficult because it's 2v2. Aya just dashed in, but Kohaibi, sharp as ever, takes one down. Aya's too low right now. 1 bullet to the body is enough. But
What?
she gets the flick onto Kohaibi's head. What was that?
How? How did that happen? Kohaibi was walking up to the other side and Aya just instantly swipes her mouse towards the left of her mouse pad, instantly gets the headshot. Everything perfectly placed around head height. And unfortunately, Kohaibi just could not survive a bullet to her skull. And this is now NGX breaking that momentum. We are at 11 points for them. I am afraid for SMG.
What is this flick here? That was insane. Oh my god, I need to... I'm sitting down. I need to lie down after that. That was just nasty. Holy.
That knocks the air out of you. I mean, if you're Kohaibi, you just don't expect a shot like that. Maybe she could have even pre-fired or something, but still. A sudden flick out of nowhere. And now SMG are furious, going back with the same execute on the site. Unfortunately, Envy is blinded again. This time, though, crosshair on point. She's able to find Ivory. That's all of the anchors gone, and now they have the site, thanks to a little bit of entry coming in from Envious as well. They go in with the aftershock just to push them back a little bit further. But what I'm afraid of, though, is the retake potential now. 2 duelists, and they have their ultimates as well. Hannah coming up from above, and it's going to be a little bit of a trade from below as Fixie comes back in to help out. Alka gets yet another, and she goes back in for the overheal. Hides inside the general cover, pushes at the right time, but the crossfire is a little bit too good, and Fixie will be able to save her team. 9 to 11 for SMG.
It's a big blow to the economy of NGX. They saved 1 round, and then they won the next one, the one just now, and then they just got resetted. So that's actually a really big blow, and it kind of stops their momentum. They're gonna have to build this bank right now, and I think it might allow SMG to catch up.
It certainly could. But then again, looking at the ultimates, all NGX really needs is a couple more rounds. SMG, again, can't say this enough. They need to make this a flawless win. So going off with a different approach now in towards the B side they go. They're looking at taking this site quickly. Alka, though, sharp on the flicks, and she's able to find the first. Kohaibi just continuing to press W, goes in for the run and gun and gets a frag.
What?
Unfortunately, Fixie backing up. She actually loses to a classic because not expecting Hannah to push out from the other side. NGX taking active mag control. They've managed to secure a weapon.
Yeah, 1 gun. Might even find a second if they're brave enough to go back into B. But it looks like they don't have the time for that. SMG are planning on A.
Cover going out.
MGX hears it, though. So now this is a question of just the attempt at this retake. They've got a Sheriff, they've got a Classic. Hannah definitely looking to send out that Paranoia. It does connect. But here comes the counter fault line, and Yoki still able to hold her ground. Kohabi from above as well, and that's all the firepower gone. Hannah down to 20 HP, and I think we can all say how this round is going to go. She picks up the rifle though, and she's just looking for some exit frags, but Kohabi denies her any joy. And SMG now, the gap so close, 1 round away from tying things up.
This game is actually delivering. It might, I would dare say, you might even see an overtime coming in for our first map of the day. Man, like, both teams are really showing up. Like, SMG dialing it back, making sure that they can still fight even after a 4-8 deficit on the first half. And now it's NGX that's calling the timeout.
See, that's the thing. This is entirely possible. NGX calls a timeout, but of course, Thal can speak to SMG at the same time. This only stops the momentum for a little. What I'm concerned about, though, is the ultimates, because NGX, they've got quite a bit. Ivory with the lockdown, that's some retic potential. That's some stalling potential as well. Gwen, even, with her Hunter's Fury. That's something that SMG has to consider as they go in for their next hit.
Yeah, and just looking at the economy a little bit, NGX have enough to buy for this round, but not next. So if SMG tie it, they're pretty much on the road to 12-11.
That's true. And that's where we could see that overtime. Or maybe even just a quick win from SMG. That would be unfortunate for NGX, though. So, of course, that's why the call-out is being called. The timeout is being called, excuse me. And that is why NGX are desperately looking to make this round possible. Interestingly enough, though, I want to point out real quick, Alaka doesn't have any shields. She's banking on the fact that maybe Empress, or maybe she will get that overheal. This is a big risk.
Yeah, it's a really big gamble because she gets taken down before that even happens. Envious just takes Aya down, quick headshot from her, and it's actually a fake.
I love that. Just goes in, gets the first frag, backs off. You know, we don't have to be too overzealous with this. We thin the numbers, and then we force them to think twice about which site we're hitting. That's why they're leaving 2 players still on A. Meanwhile, all the utility being dumped onto C now, and they should be calling this with SMG coming in to get the spike down.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty good hold for them as well. They've got their positions going. There's someone in the smoke though. Kohabi might not be ready for that, but if she gets this kill, it's gonna break down for NGX. Okay, she was ready for that, but Envious got taken down as collateral damage, unfortunately for her. Kohabi gets one, gets another. That's gonna be a triple kill for her. The queen of the logs. She just stands there, Sky, in her natural habitat, camping in that corner, getting 3.
Oh my god, you love to see it. That is such a good call as well. The queen of the logs. That's her wood cabin. She doesn't even move. She's not even afraid because she is the hunter. She smells their scent. She knows they're coming up front. And all she really needed to do was to flick and spray, transfer. K for Daddy there to clean up as well. We are now tied up 11-11. NGX, their economy not looking too good. They might just have to forfeit into this next 12. Unfortunately, though, for SMG that is, NGX, they're not backing down. They've got some guns, they've got serfs, some vandals, and Envious is looking to execute off of it. Oh no! Some gaps in the attack, and as NGX approaches from behind. Thankfully, though, the trades favor SMG. And now with the ultimates in Kohabi's hand, she sends out the Seekers, gets the information, and of course, control over the site.
The Cloudburst kind of gave room for Alaka to jump out and get a few kills. They've narrowed it down to a 2v2 though, and it looks like Hannah wants to try to get this Vandal. Both coming from Garage. I'm not sure if this is the best spot to be in, but they're looking elsewhere.
Oh, both at logs.
Are they ready for this?
Should be. They saw that paranoia, but oh my goodness. Vixie was taken out immediately. Kohabi sends out the guiding light. She gets the blind, and she lands the spray. That's the 3rd kill on the ground. Truly the queen of the logs. And now SMG and match point.
I can't believe this is happening. Like, what's... SMG are coming back from their deficit. It's just... what is going on here? And Kohabi just... that's such a power position. She hasn't been pushed out of logs these last 2 rounds. She's just staying there.
That's... my goodness, she is that good of an aimer despite being high sensitivity. I don't know how she does it. We've seen her at the SMG facility with her mouse movements, and it's really minuscule, but she makes it work. Here we go, though. For the win, SMG with the fast movement onto A site. Ivory shuts down the first, and now just waiting for the next. They've got 2 ultimates to work with NGX, and they are just hoping to anchor down the site. SMG not budging yet.
Not yet, and then they take one down, but there's actually 3 members here. But doesn't matter, as Kohibi takes all of them down. It's 4v2 right now, and SMG are looking to close this round. No overtimes on this first map, maybe.
Oh!
Spike
What?
down
She actually
A.
took Kohibi down with the 3rd beam!
What? And we're looking at Yoki.
Spike planted.
NGX, they have a chance here. Oh, but not like this. Double stun from the fault line.
So they're gonna have to hold for a second. Alka still with the Empress though. She's going in for the spray, but unfortunately she feels that it's too hot, backs up, and all of these crossfires are just too much for her to handle. All she needs is one, and she will be able to pop off, but no! Envious reacts just as fast, get the headshot, and SMG steals that win away from right underneath NGX, 13-11. What was the score from before again? I mean, it was like what?
4-8 coming to the half.
Even towards the end, like 8-11 maybe at some
It was
point.
8-10. It was 4-10, I believe, because NGX won the pistol, right? So it was 4-10, and then SMG clawed back from the first buy round, and NGX only was able to win 1 round on that defense. SMG's attack is just too good. Envious holding W. She just waltzes into the side, takes 2, takes 3, and at the end, Kohibi, I think she got a triple kill each round for the last 3 rounds. I'm not even sure what's going on anymore, but she went from like maybe 3rd or 4th in the scoreboard all the way to the top just in the last few rounds, and it's just crazy. 25 kills on Kohibi, on that Sky.
On Sky, on logs, several rounds with just multi-kills for days, and she truly secures that MVP next to her name right there. Of course, for NGX as well, though, the entire team making such incredible adjustments. I mean, from yesterday's game to today, this is a huge leap in terms of improvement. 11-13 is not a score to scoff at, and we can see exactly just how NGX goes in for that tactical attack. It works out so well, and they show it in their objective wins, their headshot percentage as well, but of course, SMG just a little bit more fiery in their approach.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. I mean, this was NGX's map, so to me that's the scary part, because this was the map that they felt they had the best chance of winning. That's usually the first map pick, right? That's your best chance of winning of whatever's left in the pool. You want to pick it right away because you don't want it banned. And Haven, they lost it to SMG at a knife's edge, but SMG, if they're more ready for Ascent, that's not even going to be this close, because they really showed that they have the resilience to come back here.
They truly do. And you and I both know that we've seen them scrimming and practicing strats, mapping the heck out of Ascent. They have some coordinated executes, and I'm just not entirely sure if NGX is prepared to deal with that.
Yeah, we'll have to see, because we've shown signs of brilliance, and we can see from the highlights here. Envious as well. The MVP for the early rounds, I would say, are the 2 Jets, Aya, Envious, and then NGX just quickly took control over the beginning. Kfredite stopped the bleeding a little bit with his nifty 4K. Clutch Fredite as usual. There was another clutch that she had later on in the rounds as well. So really great play all around from the build from both sides.
Just, I mean, no kidding from both sides. What I love to see more of, or at least what I have seen from NGX, is the fact that they know exactly when to push on their defense, and it's something that sometimes catches SMG off guard. So again, I could still see the next map going either way. There is a chance that NGX does turn this around on its head, but of course, this is now series point for NGX. If they lose this, they will be out of the tournament. So they're playing with their backs against the wall.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can actually recover from that, because it's demoralizing to have built up a lead, to have won the pistol round, up 10-4, and for SMG to just take that away from them. The only round that they won was a memorable round. It was that Aya flick on the retake. So
Oh, yes.
that was the only round that they won in the second half. So seeing that is just, I'm not sure if their defense can stand SMG's attack. And we're going into Ascent next, where it's a bit more defender-sided, but if your defense is not that great, then it's not going to look that great.
It's something that we're just going to have to watch to find out, so don't touch your browser. We will be back after this break with more Valorant action. And welcome back, folks, to VCT Game Changers APAC lower bracket finals. And what a way to win it out on Haven. SMG taking that win all of a sudden, 13-11 against NGX. And now we move on to SMG's map pick on Ascent. Hey, I'm Quack. This is Key. What do you think's gonna happen next?
This is hard to say because NGX looked so good on the first half, but the second half SMG just took control. Even though they lost the pistol round, which did not look that great, after the first buy round, they only dropped one round. And coming up next is Ascent. It's gonna be SMG's map pick. NGX are choosing to defend, of course, but we saw that SMG's attack was just too much for them to handle. So on Ascent, which is a bit, I would say, more defender-sided, potentially they might do a better job.
It's something that potentially, I guess the agent compositions kind of allude to that as well, as we've been seeing Envious kind of swap over to Omen every now and then. That said, though, the performance that we're seeing, again, like you were talking about during our break, is SMG are kind of not the most consistent team. So I think that's the one chance that NGX can kind of maybe capitalize on if they want to push us into a third map. And I'm a little bit scared for SMG.
Yeah, I agree, but you know what? They've shown that they can come back from any deficit, right? It was pretty bad, 6 rounds down, but turning it into a 13-11 victory, props to them. We'll see if they can show that up in the second round, second map rather, because Ascent, we've seen SMG play well there. We've also seen them play not so well there, but it was against teams like Bren, for example, who are also really good at Ascent. So it's really hard to say. Like we mentioned again yesterday, NGX lost 0-13 against AE Celeste on Haven. So one might say, oh, okay, maybe Haven's not their map. They're not good, but they're pretty good at Haven. They got 11 rounds against SMG.
That's true. So that's why, I mean, even coming down to statistics, anything can happen, right? That said, though, statistically, both teams are able to perform in Ascent. I'm just more curious about what changes they've got coming into this one, because we know and we have seen SMG trying to innovate. They've been practicing coordinated executes. I haven't really seen NGX that much apart from their playoffs game against Orangutan. They won 13-8, which is a pretty good score. That said, this is now a completely different team that they're playing against, and this is that KO that you were talking about from the last map. I mean, SMG Yoki now pulling out some interesting, different, spicy agent compositions.
Yeah, it's gonna be different, but on the side of NGF though, it's the exact same thing.
That's true. That's why it's seeing that makes me kind of want to lean towards SMG just a little bit more, just because that's definitely a comfort pick. It's something that is kind of, it works. It's good, but it's not new. It doesn't have that execute potential. It's not the same as if you were to have newer lineups with teams like coming in from Masters, trying all these different agent compositions with like Stacks and Breach, Victor and Neon. You need to shake things up. NGX aren't really doing that right now, and that's just going to work one of two ways. Either it's comfortable for them and they really specialize in it and it works really well, or they're going to lose to a team that is changing things up and kind of literally changing the game.
Yeah. Well, I'm really just excited to see more Valorant, like more teams in this top few, because I want to say that potentially, maybe sooner more than later, we'll see a team take down Alter Ego Celeste, and we're seeing the teams kind of accumulate this experience, this power.
Oh yeah.
Between the teams. I mean, they got taken down. Alter Ego Celeste lost a series for the first time in VCT Game Changers APAC history. So they're already showing signs of weakness. Who can capitalize on it? Who can finally take a grand finals against
I
them?
know, right? Bren looked like they could do it. X10 looked like they could do it, but they're not here today. Today, we've got SMG, and they are just one map away from going into that grand final spot. Of course, though, Alter Ego Celeste, they've got that upper bracket advantage, so they are well rested. They are possibly even watching this. I don't know. That said, NGX, they are not out of this, not yet. And wow, they're starting out on defense, and we're seeing some interesting buys. Not sure if they're going to stick with this, but Aya with the Sheriff, nothing else. I mean, what do you think's gonna? What do you think NGX is trying to go for with these setups and with these buys?
I think, honestly, judging from the lineups, it looks like NGX are still in that old kind of mindset of let's just duel, because it's. I'm not saying that it's a knock to them, but their agent
Sure.
compositions have been pretty much similar from last year. There's the Reyna Jet was last year's meta, right? SMG's lineup is a bit more closer to the current meta, which is similar to what Bren is running as well, just with a little bit of tweaks, a little bit of differences. But NGX has made it work so far, so we'll have to see.
Whoa. Yeah, they might just be able to do it again, but of course the tailwind does not get popped just because the Frenzy Spear was good. But of course, even then, Hannah, the paranoia, she gets blinded, but it doesn't matter. She swings out, gets the third frag. What just happened? What just happened in D main? Oh my god.
I thought SMG had that in the bag, but Hannah just, with the heroics, was able to get a triple kill. Even after getting blinded by... How did she get blinded?
I think it came from Market
From
Envious.
Envious. Oh, Envious from Market, yeah. Alright.
But maybe the timing was just a little bit off. I mean, SMG really weren't expecting NGX to push out into B main, and I think that was the main thing that threw the wrench in SMG's plans. This time around, though, it's NGX with the buys, Aya with nothing but a ghost? And she's still looking for the heads. Her teammates are here just to shoot and spray down all over the place, and it works out. SMG are kind of stuck and pinned down. They've got classics, and they have no choice but to hide themselves inside of corners. And that's just the nature of the story. All 5 players gone. Alika's the only one who died. NGX, they get to go into the 3rd round relatively smoothly.
Yeah, that was a good bet from Aya as well. Not buying there means that on round 4, she can get the operator. So right now, wait.
Oh, she didn't have armor.
Oh, okay. Oh, but means
It's either glass cannon or she could have gone for a vandal.
This
honestly,
is a bonus for them. So I actually think that saving that for the operator, I thought that was the goal. I thought that was why you had a classic in the first place. A ghost rather.
She had about like 5,000-ish, 4,000 plus credits. So that said, I mean, you're right. This is the bonus round. Perhaps they're just trying to do whatever they can, holding positions and taking these duels. They are really good at holding angles, I gotta say. That's what we've been seeing from NGX a lot. However, what's more interesting to me is the fact that we've got 2 marshals in this round. SMG has got full shields, so this round should be theirs. But look at how they're peaking. They're very cautious because NGX has been winning out in a lot of these fights.
Yeah,
Setting up for the push now.
We'll see where the execute actually goes because SMG have to make this round count.
Enemy suppressed.
That's the perfect suppression blade. Connects onto 2. Goes in for the duel. Flicks square on Alika and Ivory. Yoki. I love that color on it. Still though, 3 players left and they are already underway.
Getting those headshots really opened things up for SMG. She was the initiator and she initiated with 2 frags of her own as well. Vixen gets spotted out and has to duck out.
Now she's waiting for them to push out. Unfortunately though, she's going to lose outside of Generator. And now Gwen tucked into the position. She's backing onto its site. There are 3 players inside of Hell, and there's no way that she deals with that. Aya drops down from above, and K4Daddy just left clicks and sprays. It's not a problem. SMG comes back. It's 1-2.
Yeah, great for Team SMG to do that triple Hell setup with Yoki all the way on A main. They knew that if anyone had to go down, they wouldn't be able to do enough damage because they don't have the rifles. They don't have the automatic guns to actually stop that triple Hell hold. And they even had Yoki in A main, just waiting for contact to swing.
Thing is, though, that was against NGX's half buy. Now they are the ones with the guns. Will SMG be able to take this round? Because if they do, they gain momentum.
Yeah, that's it. That's the biggest thing, right? Like, the momentum was the one that carried them over on that second half on Haven. So definitely, they want to get that momentum here.
Just don't know if they actually can, because NGX have been playing such a strong defensive game right now. They've got information inside of B main. They maybe don't have the most inside of mid. But again, that's why Gwen is positioned by spawn, by defender spawn, just in case something goes wrong. It's a bit of a default for SMG as they try to gain more information, but NGX just aren't giving that much up. And now shooting down the door, they're trying to give out bits of fake info.
Yeah, I'm not used to seeing SMG burn down the clock like this. It's something that NGX like doing. It's something I don't see SMG doing much.
Oh, that's good. Okay, paint shells. Unfortunately, they've expired, and now Alika is just waiting. She sprays through, and SMG makes it forward relatively damage-free. They get the side. Oh my god, wallbang from the top of heaven, and it actually connects onto Kohibi's head. That's the star fragger gone. And now again, post-plant positions. We've got Yoki still holding inside of A main. Generator, though, has to be backed up because it's too low. And now Fixky trying to watch these angles. She's sustaining quite a bit of damage as well. Aya pushes up front. They're dropping from above, holding down from Hell. It's not that good. Oh no, Envious is gone, and all that's left is going to be Yoki. Unfortunately, she has to peek this, and it's 2 players on the other side. Aya lets it down. And that's NGX back in the game, 3-1. The momentum is not gained by SMG.
Whenever you watch her perspective, it looks like she's just flicking around so quickly. And this kill from Alika just really opened things up for them, because a 5v4 retake would have been pretty difficult, but evening things out, getting that first frag was just so good. And look at Aya here, see the flicks. So that's something we see whenever we watch Aya's perspective. When there's a highlight we're watching, it's the flicks.
The flicks and the way that she bursts in along with those flicks, and because of all those frags that she's gotten now, she has her Blade Storm, something that she could either use or save up for an eco.
She just used traveling.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's
she gave the Vandal to her teammates as Envious just gets taken down. That was a drive-by if I've ever seen one.
That is such like, you either go in for info, and if you find someone, if you can land the flick, you actually get the head, and she does. SMG now has to think twice about their approach, because this dark cover just blocks it off completely. Mid is not the safest place to go. They don't have A short covered. It's just banking in on this full all into the B site. Hannah still has a paranoia as well, so she could just block it off. She narrowly avoids the 0 point, so they are relatively safe right now. They allow for SMG to go in, but here comes Aya again! Oh my god, AC 130 in the air, and she gets a quick second kill.
I don't know how she gets away with all of these, but both updrafts have already been used, so she's not going to be able to snipe anyone else with that manner. She tries to go in. Paranoia hits. SMG though, trying to hold on, but NGX are just clearing them out. Yoki, last one remaining, but it's not enough. She ran out of bullets as NGX take another round.
Yeah, they had the numbers. They had Aya. With the way that she just got those 2 initial frags, really made it all that much more difficult for SMG to go into the site pain-free. I mean, just look at that. with 3 players left just to hold it down post-plant, it's a little bit tough because NGS just continue to throw bodies to slam them. And now, economy broken. Sheriffs and a marshal. I don't know how they're gonna be able to attack this round.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen SMG win pistol rounds, so it's like when they play with nothing to lose, that's when things actually happen for them. So I think that you can't come down just yet, but NGX are playing so well.
I mean, I have to agree, because theoretically, if SMG plays that tactical game, they should be able to control the map really well, but they are players who just really excel with speed, excel with aggression, and we see that from Kohabi in the 1 frag. Unfortunately, though, just minor peaks from Yoki, and she's alone, not able to do all that much. Corpses all throughout middle, and they will not be able to pick up those weapons. They're thinking about it.
Yeah, they don't have the
Watching the angles
smoke
as
or
well.
anything to get up there safely,
Oh,
but
yeah, that
no
makes
one's
it so
actually
much
watching
worse.
it.
Well, Aya, perhaps. She's positioned up over a short, just waiting for information. 40 seconds left now. And SMGs just, they kind of look lost.
30 seconds
Yeah,
left.
I mean, you just want to get as many kills as you can, I suppose, in this types of rounds. K4Daddy already got the Vandal. They do have some light shields, so they don't have the time to make this work anymore, to be honest. 17 seconds left. B is still kind of
One enemy
occupied.
remaining.
Gwen takes one down, but K4Daddy is going to make it
10
as
seconds
expensive
left.
as she can. Anna's going to be there, though. K4Daddy will not stand a chance.
Unfortunate. There was a world in which K4Daddy would have been able to take Hannah down, potentially getting the spike planted as well, but with 2 players hot on her heels behind her, that was also a really near impossible round to win. I would say like 20%, 30% chance of winning. However, the damage is still good, and it shows you that they are capable of trading, they're capable of making these attacks work. But the scoreline as it stands, 1-5, is not that great of a look for SMG. Going in for the executes onto B now.
It's going to be a pretty fast execute from them. They just want to go in. Oh,
Yoki, Roadhouse.
they actually use,
Now-
they actually use B from the shadows for information and as a distraction, and SMG making it work. Showstopper to discourage any push as well, and she's going to be able to find
remaining.
2.
What? Oh my god! Oh my. Well, that was the perfect spot to shoot that showstopper in, Marquis. Oh! What
knew.
did we just witness?
What is that teleport though? The fake teleport? The full distraction? And Yoki just waltzing in, taking everyone down? And the showstopper in that corner, she look at where she aimed at. She aimed it at to clip it on the corner to get that double kill.
I just did not expect that at all. I mean, oh, that was such good splash damage. And all of that with 3 ultimates to secure them that win. That's the coordinated execute that SMG has been practicing. This time around, Fixkey, the one with the Hunter's Fury, just trying to get bits of info. Unfortunately, not able to get all that much. NGX just hiding, tucked away in corners. Again, holding angles.
Yeah, she's able to tag Gwen once. Unfortunately, not able to convert a second tag. Let's see if SMG can replicate their success from the previous round. They're playing a bit slower this time.
NGX has been playing relatively similar positions for the longest time now, though. It's always Gwen towards the middle. Aya is the one who's kind of roaming around between B and mid. Oh, and all of a sudden the wallbang tag. Thankfully, not that much given away as well. They're looking to make this A-split happen. Fragment just to clear out generator. They get the suppression as well. But this is just a
30
great
seconds
hold coming in from Alka. She's able to get one. Damage is done now, and it comes in with a quick response as well, as they have control over A short. NGX, they're trying to
You should
prevent
run.
SMG from gaining control over the site. Okay, for Didio, pops the lockdown, and now it's either lineups or NGX is gonna have to back out.
10
They
seconds
continue to
left.
push on though,
Spike
and they manage to
down
shoot it
A.
down, but here
One
comes the
enemy
trades. It
remaining.
was a bit of a bait. And K4Daddy plus Envious, they were able to prevent them from going forward. They get the spike planted as well, and now 3-5, SMG has banked.
Did you see that? Did you see that small
30 seconds
plays that Envious did? Right after the last kill, she ran to grab that spike and plant it down. I'm just gonna say, that's the most impressive part of this. Everyone was dead, they won the round. The first thing she does is run for the spike to make sure it gets planted. You see? She just runs
Of course you
for it.
love that.
You know, I've seen so many teams
I
on the
know.
top level, in champions,
They
just
don't care about
celebrate
it.
after the win. They don't care. But that 300 can make such a big difference.
It's a bit of utility that you can buy up. But that said, though, you still need these duels, and with the way that NGX are playing now, switching up the pace, I don't think SMG were expecting them to push into B main. It's a bit of a Hail Mary. They managed to get one, but of course, Kohivi just trades it right back. 4-4, and SMG are still just trying to suss out how NGX plays this.
Yeah, NGX love having the hero Vandals, especially on Aya. But I don't blame them, because Aya with that Vandal is just crazy. Those clicks, absolutely nasty. Oh, they find one. The smoke though. Gets a little bit of cover. Oh, Gwen takes one out though. Kohibi is gonna be there. Oh, it's yet another trade for NGX though. It is not. I know this being so close.
Oh my
Kohibi takes
God.
one down, but down to 1v1. Envious has to play this well, but the timing.
Oh no! The timing. She just wasn't expecting that push from stairs. She thought there were players positioned towards lane, and that's just a little bit unfortunate. Of course, Alika will be the one collecting on it, so that's now 6-3 in favor of NGX.
Man, SMG should not have lost that round. There was no way that NGX win that.
I mean, this was a rather peculiar dark cover coming in from,
That's
Last
Envious.
player to placing sentry.
oh really? The one right in front?
Yes.
That was a little gap. I thought it might have been Hannah's dark cover, but it gives them a bit of cover as they secure a lane. But at the same time, NGX just sprayed through it. There was that little gap as well that unfortunately.
Oh, the one in front. That
didn't
was
really work out
Hannah's.
too well.
Yeah. The
Oh,
market
okay.
one. Market one was Envious's, which I think
Yeah.
was a little bit too deep as well on their side. So a little bit difficult. I think maybe they should have gone faster. Maybe if they just went into Speedway, like actually sped up on Speedway, might have made a difference. But Envious.
Well,
First headshot, straight
they're
up
looking to speed things up.
for sure.
They managed to get the one. They break down the door and they back up completely. Oh my God, Alika though, just causing so much chaos, and now possibly Aya coming in from short as well. Yoki was suspecting it, but Envious is the one who gets caught in the back of her head. We're back to a 4-4, and NGX has all the ultimates in the world.
Oh, that flick from K4Daddy takes Ivory down. I think B side only has one defender left, but they're gonna have to be ready for Hannah. She gets spotted, and they're flushing her out. Oh, Hannah
Wait.
takes one down though.
Stay down.
Back to trade, but Aya, she's already pushing up front. They were so not expecting this, but here comes Kohibi with the showstopper again. This time not really collecting, and she's going to push up front with a little bit of support from Fixkey. They managed to walk away with a win for this round, 4-6 in favor of SMG.
This game is just back and forth, like just back and forth, and SMG a little bit messy, but they're able to get this round.
Stay down.
Aya though, really so sharp, dashing in here. I thought she had a chance to kill all of them, but luckily Fixkey was able to take her out.
Yeah, I think we've been sleeping on Aya for a while because she just knows exactly when to switch up the pace. There are so many rounds where suddenly she pushes B main, suddenly she just goes in really aggressively in towards stairs. And SMG don't really expect it, and she's doing it this time on A main. The Blade Storm again. And she's got it refreshed as well. All 5 at the ready. SMG are the ones who are gonna have to react to this. She's gotten a little bit of information as well, but unfortunately now 2 9s remain. She goes back in for yet another swing, and Envious this time sprays it down. like a hose. Alaka comes back for the trade though, and take a look at what's happening towards mid link as well. Aphrodite's kind of trapped in this position. She gets one, but here comes the remainder of the team. They pick up those weapons, and this is now a 2-on-3 situation for SMG.
Yeah, they didn't want to hold those guns, and now NGX have all the guns that they need. But Bo3 is gonna take one down. Fixky gonna take one down as well. The lockdown is still there, but Fixky, with that Vandal just went straight for the kill.
Last round
Didn't even
before
look at
the
the
switch.
lockdown. Didn't even blink twice.
Oh. Just when it comes down to it, these clutch moments that are so sorely and desperately needed for SMG, players like Aphrodite, players like Fixky come out and they step up to the plate. SMG, their approaches have been a little bit shaky, especially when players like Aya come in to disrupt them. But when they recover and when they get the spike down, they look good. This time around, last round of the first half, they are looking for that coordinated execute. Not sure if it's going to work out too well, though. Again, NGX are looking to disrupt them.
Yeah, NGX looks like they started running out of steam because SMG just started catching up. It's exactly like we saw in the first map where SMG starts figuring things out. NGX suddenly just are a bit slower to adapt, I would say. But it looks like there's a good read from NGX right now as they're already collapsing towards B, where the execute is actually happening.
Moving right in. Clears over by market. Again, NGX, they know this execute is here. Comes down to how SMG actually holds them off. Just watching along with it. It's Aphrodite from B main. He sprays it down. The next round to two. Heidi comes in with the trade. And we are tied up 6-6.
Oh, what a great comeback after being down 1-4, 1-5, I believe. SMG just run it back, and now it's down to a 6-6. We've seen the resilience. We've seen how they come back from these rounds, and so it was 1-5. By round 6, it was 1-5, and
Whoa.
SMG just figured things out on the attacking side, and now we're in a 6-6 coming to the second half.
It's a good way to adapt and respond to NGX, but it's honestly making me really nervous, Marquis, because again, I mean, there's so much on the line. The stakes are high. You cannot afford to be allowing NGX to gain momentum that way. On to the next half, and we are 6-6. If NGX once again, if they take the pistol, if they walk away with that momentum, and SMG are the ones to have to react to that, to adapt to that, especially when they're on defense, NGX might actually look better.
Yeah.
They actually might.
I agree. I mean, it really depends. But the thing about a map pick is, I feel like if you're confident enough to pick a map, it means your executes, especially on the attacking side, are a bit more diverse. Like, you have a lot more set plays, especially on attack. So I actually feel like the team who picks a map is more prepared on the attacking side than the team who doesn't. And if that makes sense, then NGX probably don't have as diverse of an attack as SMG does. But we've seen that it doesn't matter for them because they just take aim duels left and right, and Aya's gonna somehow find a flick, 2 flicks, 3 flicks. Someone's gonna get a 4K and NGX just win the round. It really just depends if SMG have the discipline to hold and stop taking the aim duels that they don't need to take. I think that's the biggest difference here, and that's what can make them win in this map.
Yeah, it's it's a bit of an anomaly. I mean, Ascent, some people call it defender-sided. It could be, but of course, just judging by how SMG's defense performance on Haven looked, wasn't the greatest. NGX, though, they're not that fast either. They go in with this really careful, tactical approach of just, like I mentioned before, like possibly just really shift walking nonstop all the way until they're towards like A main, A short, around the mouth of the site, and then they just hold those angles, expecting SMG to push. It's a very different look for them, and it worked on Haven. will it work again on Ascent? I am not too sure because, well, like you mentioned, it comes down to how SMG actually plays defensively this time. If they push out, they just might lose their heads. If they hold it too passively as well, NGX, they might get their run of the way.
Yeah, let's see between the two teams. I would say SMG just have that little bit of edge, especially given recent history, given the past few opens, given that NGX just
Enemy suppressed.
it just seems like they haven't changed the lineup, and I think that on defense, having two duelists is a bit more difficult, and I think that SMG might be able to take advantage of that, especially for retakes.
Just maybe. That said, though, dark cover's already been baited out. Envious, she's gonna have to wait a whole 10 seconds before her next one. So NGX, if they want to, they potentially could just overwhelm the B site, but instead they're playing with the timings and setting up the potential A split. Yoki, however, has spotted them towards the short
30
play.
seconds left.
Sends out the knife, doesn't really pop off, but they continue to push up front. She pushes past the dark cover. Oh, no! And that's two players gone from SMG. They've lost the A site. 3v5 retake. It's not good.
It was a bit of a bold attempt, too bold in fact. Like, this was what we were talking about, right? The discipline and being able to just not take the duels when you don't need to. And I think that it was too risky for her to swing that.
Oh, way too risky. I mean, if it was just one player,
Out of
maybe.
charges.
I think that's what she thought it was, but unfortunately it's just a little bit overzealous. Now they're forced to push into sight. Still, though, this looks pretty good as they get the first one. Kohibi onto the second, and now we're back to a 2v2. Coming in from hell, though, it's K for Daddy 1v1. She goes in for the classic right click, and that's a classic if I've ever seen one. The third kill in the round. Does she get the defuse? No!
She was nodding her head. She knew she didn't have time. The circle came
Yeah.
out. So 1 second, 0.99. 1 second too late. Oh, that's a classic though, and that's okay for Daidi. You know, we always see her with triple kills somehow. I think she should just change the E in her name to a 3.
3.
Or K for Daidi 3. You know, like.
I know, but damn, dude, it's just
So close.
SMG. I mean, they again, like that's the retake potential that I'm looking for. They're able to make such plays happen, but sometimes getting too aggressive, and it works out for now. Yoki in the previous round, yeah, that was scary. But this one, with Envious, classic 2 to the head, that's Aya gone. That's NGX's Starfracker. They still have a Guardian in Alika's hands, though, and that's curious to me. But here comes the Owl Drone. Ivory pushes along with it. They take control over B main. Kohibi is forced to rotate over. She catches 2 as well! Oh my god, 2 dinks! What is this classic game?
Yeah, that's just sad to see.
Last
She just
player
takes 2 to
standing.
the face.
Oh.
But Alika with the Guardian, you questioned it, but she makes it work. Kohibi though pushing out right now, looking for guns on B main, is able to procure a Spectre.
How NGX plays. This is so careful. They're holding those angles. I talked about it. And Envious just walks up front thinking that it was clear. Oh my goodness,
Oh my
coming back
lord.
though. Oh, Kohibi just flakes over, but she's down to 40 HP. What she can hope for right now is just to do as much damage as possible to NGX's economy, because we might not have the most coming into the next round. Runs on over. Alika whiffs a couple of shots, but recovers just in time to land that final headshot and to get that third kill. So good 2-0 start from the second half, but oh wow, actually they managed to get just enough because they got some frags as well, and they got the plat too.
Yeah, you know, the craziest part about Kohibi is her. You know, when you're talking about how fast she turns around like this, it's because of her high sensitivity. Like if you guys saw the graphic of their sensitivity, she actually plays at 2.1 or 2.2 at 1.6K, which is
1.6K DPI.
yeah. So it's the equivalent of 0.40, 4.2 rather on 800. So
EDPI.
Not 0.42, 4.2. That's big difference. That's
It's
10
so big.
times.
Like we saw her on her mouse pad. It's just very minimal movements. But she's still that good. However, they've got the full buys and they need to defend. NGX, they've got quite a bit of firepower. They're investing a lot into this round.
They want to shut
They're
SMG down for sure.
Huh, deep into market. Setting up for a B split, maybe?
Yeah, it looks like a B split coming in from NGX. SMG though, just playing back, playing at but the recon into the swing. Ivory takes one down, but Fixkey is gonna try to hold. Unfortunately, does not finish off Aloka, who gets to overheal.
Spike planted.
Oh no. And now the drone comes out. They're trying to catch them with a stray wallbang, but look at how defensive NGX are playing. All of these angles being held. There's like 2 players stacking up on top of lane. Anyone who peeks her is basically dead. And here it comes. Oh, perfect execution. And of course, Go Ivy's the last one left. Tries to do as much damage as she can, but just not enough. This is an incredibly good-looking NGX. That was the bonus!
Yeah, that was, well, it wasn't really a bonus since NGX actually bought up. They wanted to win this round. So I think they wanted to surprise SMG as well.
True.
They all had rifles, so it was... They lost 3 members the previous round, so in this round, they just thought, might as well just go for a full buy and challenge SMG. And it paid off. Like, it hurt their economy a little bit, but it did pay off. And look at Aya, she has the Blade Storm up, she doesn't even need to buy this round. They can build up a little bit of their economy, while SMG, they're gonna have to go for these Sheriff, these Marshals.
Turrets destroyed.
It's not great. 9-6, potentially 10-6. And this is a completely new NGX. Despite the same old agent comps, they are still so deadly because of their tactics. And now Aya leading the charge. Unfortunately, feeds a Sheriff to her chest. But then the trades come in. Yoki, of course, finds one as well, though, but they just don't have the space to collect on those guns. And NGX gains control over B.
Spike
Yeah,
planted.
they might be able to get at least one Vandal, one Marshal, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there goes Envious. Vandal light shields. She could make it work, but they have to go in soon. Only about 30 seconds left. 0 point just to clear it out. They're not sure about B main, but I don't think they have the luxury of time to just go in to check out every single corner right now. And that's why Yoki's pushing up front. Envious, Paranoia. It's good, it connects, but unfortunately still 2 players inside a boathouse, and Gwen comes out at the right time. NGX secures that 10th win.
And they make it a bit expensive, but SMG, they're starting to fall behind 6-10 right now for them, and they really need to find a way to stop these pushes from NGX if they want to win this round, because this is their map pick, and NGX look more ready than they are.
I'm not even sure what's going wrong with the defense coming in from SMG, Marty. I'm not sure what they need to change up. But with the way that NGX are just carefully approaching things, they have been getting advantageous duels every single time.
They're just swinging, and it's just working. They're just going in. They're having their way. I think SMG are getting punished sometimes. I'm not sure what's going on now, but NGX are trying to change the pace a little bit. They're now taking it slow, and I think that this might actually give SMG a chance to hold on.
Well, they're gonna have to react incredibly well. As soon as that dark cover expires, you can bet NGX are gonna try something. Envious re-smokes it, but if they use that as cover to execute, and if Envious doesn't anchor and find these frags, NGX, they're gonna walk away from momentum right now. Paranoia gets sent out, but the Leer, surprisingly, it still does so much. Yoki comes in with the
What?
flash, but here comes Kohibi! The triple kill from the showstopper, and it slams them down! No chance you get the A side anymore. This is my home! Back up!
That's the show absolutely being stopped. 3 of them gets taken out. Almost no time right now. Hannah is forced to plant this. SMG are not shooting the boxes though. And Ivory might just be able to secure this round. No, Fixkey with the aim there. That looked a bit dicey. But SMG eke out this win.
So dicey. It almost was lost, but thankfully they just had the numbers thanks to Kohibi. And it all started with that perfect flash coming in from both Envious as well as Yoki. I mean, take a look at the replays. She managed to save them. And I mean, still, with Ivory and Hannah coming in, NGX still has so much potential. It took that entire ultimate and just magical plays coming in from Kohibi in order to make that work. 3 rounds to tie it up, and both sides have 3 ultimates.
It's just so close. This game, similar to the Haven one, it's just a lot of back and forth. I think this time around, there's no dominating team on each round, but I really don't know where each round is gonna go. Like, even after a triple kill from Kohibi, it looked like NGX was able to reel it back in. It went down to 1v1. Yoki able to hold this down though. Spots 2 people in short. Flashes out, holds down 3. Gets 1. Oh, the Bulldog. That's why she needed 2 headshots to tie it down. Hannah though spots the alarm bot. Kohibi almost got caught out there. Thankfully for the alarm bot. She looked away.
She's in such a one and done position. They're gonna peek her together, aren't they? Well, no, they're actually just hovering around the corner, and Kohibi's just trying to toy with them, getting them to peek out. She sprays it down, but Hannah trades right back, and here comes that B-split execute. Oh, Aphrodite, I don't know how you're going to anchor this down with Fixkey as they're positioned up around stairs. They're getting tagged up just a little.
She's the gun.
Hannah's already made her way up. Fixkey peeks, she gets a quick one, she gets the double, and here comes Aphrodite. It's the 3rd frag, and SMG come back online, 8-10.
This series is closer than I expected. I really have to say that NGX are really keeping up with SMG, but SMG are just showing that when they need to turn up gear, they can do it. So right now they're catching up. Still not there yet, but this is exactly what we saw in the previous map. SMG just starting to figure things out, and then all of a sudden they take control over the game.
Oh my goodness. They're trying to adapt and it's starting to work out, but this is what I'm still scared of because NGX, they've got the momentum, they've got the ultimates, maybe not the best guns, but they can afford to lose some rounds. This is the same thing that we saw in Haven. If NGX suddenly wakes up, it could be over for SMG, and that is why this defense has to be immaculate. Yoki now, Fragment just blocked them off, but goes in for the peek. She walks out and gets fragged out. Again, losing control over Garden now, and it's gonna have to come down to the anchor from 2 players, Kohibi and Envious. All the way on the A site. They've rotated over as well, but take a look at the mini-map marquee. This could be a fake.
Yeah, it might just be a B swing. He is there, but Aphrodite is gonna stop that. Evens things out. I think Yogi was a bit too curious. Just swung out there. Like, but she wasn't ready for that. She wasn't ready for someone already in tree. Her fragment was a bit too late. It actually allowed someone to actually go in already. So those things are not what you want to see, especially if you're trying to catch back up. But Kohibi takes Hannah down, and there's a lockdown being committed as well.
Nowhere to run.
Just might find enough time.
Oh my god. Not like this.
No, this does not look good. I think they're still gonna try though, because they're gonna want to win this round. They can't afford not to. There's a counter lockdown as well. I'm not sure if that's even worth using. Oh, but they take them out anyway.
Both of them stepping up. Each of them winning their duels. The lockdown, maybe not the most necessary thing, but might have just thrown NGX off by a little. That said, it was a little bit expensive having to spend that ultimate. And here we are, 10-9.
Yeah, Cape
One
for
more
that-
round from tying it up.
Cape for that in that spot really stopped that fake swing. Fake ski and her had this sort of crossfire there. Luckily, they were able to catch both. And SMG are just, like you said, one round away from tying. I think Yoki needs to stop the unnecessary deaths. A little bit of over-aggression pays off sometimes, but a little bit too much of a risk right now because they know that Yoki's going to be in tree. Oh well.
This
Moving
time
up.
she's up front, and it's gonna work out for the first one. It's a good trade, and it forces NGX to think twice about heading back into A short. Envious with the dark cover as well.
Aya got tagged down a little bit, so I think that was pretty good from Yoki. She was able to take Alka down. Aya slowed down a little bit as well. They don't even have a Sage or Sky to heal. So I think that this trade was pretty good for Yoki. Another one and done position from her. And she was able to get a little bit more than one.
That said, though, I still can see NGX winning this. They're going in towards B main. It comes down to the anchoring skills of Kohibi plus Caphrodite now. Just waiting for them to push out, and oh my god, Kohibi gets quick double as they line up, and then they push into Caphrodite's crosshairs. So good! And we're back tied up 10-10.
What was that double headshot? Like she was
I don't know.
I saw one die when I was in the center, and then the second just died. Like, I
That
don't
might
know.
have, was it Aya because she was low?
No, it was two headshots.
Yeah. Oh,
It was
okay.
Aya, but they lined up. They pretty much just lined up.
That is incredible.
So here,
Again,
yeah, 10-10 again. This is where we saw it. The exact same point where they call a timeout in game one. The exact same situation because NGX, they don't have money to buy. They really don't. SMG, they still have guns on all 5 players. If they lose this round, they can still more or less buy 4 out of 5. They're in such a good spot right now because this is exactly what happened in Haven. 10-10, NGX call a timeout. They win one round, but SMG took it all anyway.
it's just the exact same scenario, and it just feels like NGX has hit that wall, that glass ceiling. Can they shatter it? It's been 3 rounds in a row that SMG has won. Vixky now with a node in 2. It's like you said, I mean, there are times that SMG just looks inconsistent. When they hit lows, it's really low. But now they're going into that high. I'm just not sure if that tide will pull back. NGX needs to force it somehow. Needs to force SMG back, but oh, this could be the trick. Aya now again with the Blade Storm, the double updraft just to take Envious down. That's one anchor gone, and they could push into A, but the spike's
Oh
not there.
no! The spray, she
God.
took Ivory down.
Deploying drone.
Wow. That's the Odin.
That's why Sova players like
That's
the Odin
the
on
All
beam.
Father. Alright. Still though, no anchor on A. That's what NGX is banking on.
The hunt begins.
Here it comes. Smokes come up, the Lear. But SMG is just setting up for the retake. They know that this is potentially NGX coming in to hit the site, so let's just wait for them. We have some ultimates to work with as well. Kohibi's done it once before, just looking to do it again. This time it doesn't quite connect, and Hannah just sprays it down. With the Sheriff, she's still able to find the frags. The trades come through though, and Aya all of a sudden with a Vandal now. She could be the one to stop this. Instead it's gonna be Alaka, and with the threat off of the timeout, NGX comes back into the game.
I think it was too many targets on the screen. Kohibi was looking at generator and then throws the showstopper all the way towards kind of main, but it gets, I think it got clipped a little bit by the stairs and then it just didn't make it all the way through. I'm not sure. I think she was choosing between 2 targets and then it just shot in between them.
Yeah. too many targets. This time, instead of huddling together, NGX spreads out and disperses across the site. It's a small thing, but I don't know, that just might have done the trick. Whatever it is, SMG still has bank, so they could still tie this back up. And this time around, Envy is positioned up over by Wind, something that NGX might not be expecting. Yoki, though, she has to be very careful with her garden play. She's been in this position forever, and every single time she pushes out, sometimes she doesn't get that initial frag. Sometimes there's not even a trade. So, interestingly enough, NGX just back it up completely. They dash straight in towards Market, but here comes Kohibi with the sprays up close, up front, and personal. They're able to find one that favors SMG. Paint Shells comes in. Kohibi peeks out, even with a Spectre. It's Alaka dead. Coming into lane, though, Hannah! She's able to take her head off her shoulders. And now control over the site. They managed to get that plant. It's a 2v3.
They got the guns, so Kohibi gets an upgrade from her Spectre. It's all Vandal. 3v2, we've seen this before. SMG pretty good retaking B. They won this so many times, and Yoki gets the first kill onto Hannah. They now know where Gwen is, and Kohibi is gonna seal the deal. We're back to a tie game.
Oh my god. Has SMG used their timeout in this second half yet?
No, they have
I'm
not.
not sure. I don't know if they even need it at this point. I mean, Yoki dropping out of Market off of past logs that way. She could have died.
Yeah, that was risky.
But somehow at the same time, just because it was mid-air and Hannah was mid-movement, she actually landed the shot, and then just Kohibi playing off of Envious's contact. This is what happens when SMG has the numbers. This is what happens when SMG's anchoring works. Kohibi in that one and done around Pizza repeatedly causes NGX to falter. So here we go now for the number 12.
This is a scary number 12. Whoever loses this round doesn't have economy for the next round.
Right. If they don't have economy, that means no overtime. Yoki again, same position, gets info. But I don't think NGX is going to back off this time. It's a good dark cover, though. I'm not sure if the paranoia was necessary. But NGX, they're just holding. Anticipating a push. Look at B main as well. Oh.
Yoki playing discipline now. Like that.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Oh, is she peeking?
Yeah, she is. Pop flash. Trying to use the cloud burst. But she does just enough to push NGX away. Alaka holding the angle though. She's lurking right now. Backing off. They're setting up for the same B split. This time around, Kohibi isn't around Pizza. So they have control over Market. They have control over B main. Kfredidi and Fixkey, they're going to have to hold this down.
30 seconds left.
Kohibi
Spike down.
gets the first one. Flashback is thrown
Oh
and
my
she sprays it
God.
forward. Gets a quick double. Yoki, Envious now all coming onto site. They secure that match point.
That
Match
blast
point.
pack. I think disjointed two of them. It was just enough. This hold was so good. The first kill,
Spike
scaring
down.
them into crossing, the blast pack landing just in time. Her teammate there to help her get that double. Look at NGX right now. They're forced to buy a Spectre. They're forced to buy a Guardian. Light shields on two of them. I wouldn't count them out still, but it just feels difficult that you're against match point and you can't even have the good guns.
Not the best, but we've seen them make it work before. I don't want to count them out. They have Ivory and the lockdown. They could use that to execute. But that hasn't been the problem. The problem is SMG are just able to anchor thanks to these players reading situations correctly. Thanks to Yoki actually being a little bit more courageous and a little bit more safe as well. The dark cover all of a sudden now. And NGX is looking to execute off of this. Cloud bursts onto site. Envious doesn't have the paranoia. She can't quite use it, but oh my god! Paint Shells! Hunter's Fury! They can't push forward anymore! It's one player left! And Kohibi
Defenders
slams
win.
Hannah down! 13-11. Same score as Haven. and SMG steals the win once more.
I did not see anyone die on screen in that round. It's just
Oh, it's a feels bad. It's a feels bad for NGX.
yeah, they were so close. I mean, SMG though, like they love playing these long games. It seems like just 2 rounds away from winning. They sealed the deal though, and we're finally seeing SMG yet again in the grand finals. I'm not sure when the last time was. I believe it was when they were still the Impaler. When we last saw them in the grand finals. I'm not sure if it's been that long, but Kohibi showed up on this map, and in the previous map, this whole series is just the Kohibi show. Like there's some kills, some K4 here and there, but Kohibi was just fragging out of her mind. So many highlights from her, not just on Haven, but also here on Ascent. It's just been absolutely wild for SMG. But it's like we were talking about, the lows are pretty low. Like sometimes NGX gets away with things that they shouldn't. But then when they turn it up hard.
It really does turn up hard. I mean, she definitely deserves an MVP. A 2.5 KDA is nothing to scoff at. And I do think that truly the last time that SMG made it into grand finals was a really long time ago. Maybe when they were the Impaler, which was like almost 2 years ago if you think about it. Yeah. Renata's White as well. I don't know if they actually made it into grand finals when they were under that roster. Now they were with SMG. Now they've got Fel as their coach. Now they've got Kohibi popping off the way that she does, especially in positions like pizza, around logs. I mean, the showstopper, it's huge. And again, it's also the support of her team. They played such a strong defense that it took a lot from NGX just to push it to that 11th win. It's incredible to watch them this way, and this is now the first time in a long while that they're up in the grand finals.
Yeah, they got their chance to go against the reigning goddesses, Altigo Celeste.
Goddesses now.
They were watching the stream. We saw the comments there. They were rooting for NGX, I think. But wow, K4 just made sure to bring it back. Like made sure that she had a chance to go up against Altigo Celeste again. And I'm excited for the grand finals.
It's oh god, it's truly exciting. That said though, NGX, they gave it their all. They made it into playoffs for the first time this year, and what a showing. They got into that 3rd place spot. They dominated. They managed to win that many rounds, but just not quite able to close it out just yet. This is a team that still has so much potential, especially when you look at how some of these duels go their way. Round 2, Alika picks up her Guardian. Even towards the last round, Alika picks up her Guardian. Aya with the Blade Storm, able to provide so much value for her team as well. I can't wait to see more from NGX if they do make it into Elite. This is a team that sticks to their comfort picks. It might not be the most innovative thing, but they show that they know how to make it work.
Yeah, for sure. But SMG just reigned supreme just by a little bit. 13-11 for both maps. I can't believe it went all the way to the most rounds we can go without going to overtime. It's just they're just teasing us. They're just like, psych, we actually can win.
Psych. I do kind of feel that they are definitely playing their hearts out as well, though. I mean, some of these rounds, honestly, like, it does look really shaky at times. With the way that they play in their scrims, sometimes when they feel it, they are confident, they know they can go in for those duels, they press W and they don't let go. Sometimes when they play against teams like NGX, they have to respect their opponents, and that's when they have to dial it back a little. That's when they start to doubt themselves a little bit. I think they need that confidence back for this grand final.
I completely agree. It's just when they're feeling it, they're feeling it, and when they're not feeling it, it's just not 100% there. So you're right. They have to be feeling it for these grand finals, and if they are, I want to see how far they can go against Alter Ego Celeste.
I truly do want to see it and hope for at least a map to be taken away, if not even more. But whether or not that actually happens, we got to find out after this break. Don't go don't go away, guys. We will be right back. Words are hard.